Can y'all hear me? Good morning.
Good morning. I can hear you.
Good morning. All right, cool. Thanks. We'll get started in a few minutes.
Good morning.
Good morning. Get started in a few minutes.
Yes, sir.
All right. I think we've got a few people, enough people here to get started. So today we're going to be talking about concepts, and this is kind of going along with what your project is going to be. So these are talking about how to or what is a concept, and a concept is like something that brings people in a little bit. So we're going to be talking about that. Let's see. Putting together a menu over the next several, courses you're going to be putting together a menu. This is going to help you. And we're going to be talking about like menu design and all of that. So any questions so far? Everybody good? Everybody all right? Any problems? Everybody all right? Good to see some, at least a few smiling faces. You're on mute. I can't hear you.
My little chihuahua got stolen yesterday. That's why I wasn't here.
Oh my God.
I know, I'm freaked out.
How did
I
someone
let
just
him off.
take
I
him?
let him off the leash to go see his other mama,
Yeah.
and I think one of the old ladies at the trailer park picked him up.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear
I
that.
know, I'm freaked out. We've been together for a few years, and he's been at my daughter's, but since I'm home for a little bit, I pick him up.
I'm so
I called
sorry
the
to hear
police
that.
report, and I did everything I know what to do, but it's got me kind of tore up. I know
Well,
you're a dog man too.
yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope you find your dog. For sure.
Thank you. So,
For sure.
yeah, I wasn't in good shape yesterday, so I didn't punch in or anything. I apologize, but
No worries, no worries. But I'm glad you're here.
I'm
And
at Bill Miller mentioned out.
oh, are you eating?
Yes, I'm
Nice.
all smacked and like,
Nice. Good.
I'm hungry. I didn't eat too much yesterday, so
Yeah.
I had a good class. Would I miss out on anything? What was our class yesterday, Chef?
Oh, yesterday? I'm
Yes, sir.
sorry. We were honestly I can't even remember what we talked about, to tell you the truth. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, and you know what? I didn't post the video. I'll post the video. I completely forgot to.
That's cool. I haven't even tried to look at it yet.
Yeah.
I had to take my friend in again for the rest of that biopsy that I was telling you about before. We're in San Antonio this time. So I'm at Bill Miller. Hey, they got naked tacos here. They're pretty good.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I did, for everybody, I did post on day 12, I think. I'm going to have to look. On day 12, let me make sure I did that. Hold on. Yeah, on day 12, I posted 3 links for copies of projects, 3 projects. So I will bring let me show you where it's located. So if you go, for everybody that's on, if you want to see 3 kind of projects, you go to click on day 12, and it's these 3 documents right here are copies of some projects here, and all you have to do is click on it, and it should send you to a menu and a few other so just to let you know, that's where these are going to be living on day 12. All right.
Heard you.
Cool. So y'all can kind of look through that, and if you have any questions, and I will also go over it with you later on, but that's where they're going to be living for now. So day 20, we're going to be talking about, or it says day 20, but our PowerPoint 20, but it is about concepts and creating a concept. Like, for example, a concept is like, Hard Rock Cafe. That's a concept, okay? So it's going to be kind of a music kind of concept. So those are, excuse me, these are the kinds of concepts we're going to be talking about. Let me now share my screen, y'all, so we can look at all those PowerPoints. Let's see, share. I did record, click record, so hold on a second.
Chef, are you recording?
Yes, thank you.
Good job.
All right, so we are, let me close this out. There we go. All right, for, let's say, you know, when you're designing a menu and designing a restaurant and creating a concept, you know, like, for example, and I'm going to push through a few slides real quick just to find the slide that I want here are some examples of some concepts. Here, like McDonald's, the arch is a concept. You know, it is, oh, here we go. Panera, these are all logos, but they are also concepts as well. Creating, you know, Panera Bread is a concept. You know, Boston Market is a concept. Red Lobster. But what is it that makes people come in? You know, there was a, hold on a second, I think there is, I thought there was a big slide of just all pictures of the restaurants, maybe not, but I will try on our break to look for it. But it is basically a picture of all the fast food and with no names, with all the fast food logos and everything with no names. So where you can, or like Pepsi and all of those, their logos are basically concepts or something that makes us know exactly what that brand is just by seeing, if I see a gold M, you know, sitting there, I know that's a McDonald's. So just having concepts, understanding what you're going to be doing. For example, let me go back to the very beginning, and I apologize. All right, like when you go to, you know, go to your menu here. Let me just, I'm going to just talk to y'all if that's all right. But like your menu, first of all, the minute you walk in the door, or even before you walk in the door, the customer is going to see the logo, right? Either the signage or you know, if it's the sign on the door, if it's a logo on your, you know, on a billboard, whatever else, they're going to see your logo. And, you know, when you're creating a logo or signage or anything with your concept on there, you need to think about what it is that people are going to, I guess, what is it going to make them come in? Is, you know, friendly, you know, like, for example, like Buc-ee's. Let's talk about Buc-ee's. You know, that the logo is a beaver, right? Big beaver. But the concept is kind of interesting. Has anyone ever been to a Buc-ee's or Buc-ee's convenience store? Buc-ee's convenience store, the whole, it talked about it before, but if I did, I'm sorry. But hey, David, I'm going to mute you if that's all right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it just echoes for some reason. I echo whenever you're on for some reason. But the concept is get them in and get them out fast, right? They have no seating. No, there is not one chair other than a toilet in Buc-ee's. And the concept is basically for them is get them in, get them out, but provide clean bathrooms. Clean bathrooms are the way, you know, their concept, their way that brings people in. So you're trying to find, in your concept, you're trying to find something that makes people come in to your facility. It could be the food, it could be the atmosphere, it could be, you know, some sort of, you know, something that draws them in to your facility. What are some cool concepts or cool restaurant or cool concept of restaurants or bars that you've ever been to? Anybody? Like there was a bar downtown in Austin called, I think it was called Sharks or something, and this was years ago. But the bottom of the dance floor had it was a aquarium with sharks swimming in the aquarium on the dance floor underneath. So that was a concept to bring people in. Hard Rock Cafe. What are some other types of those kinds of concepts, or any other concepts? Anybody?
Hooters is one.
Hooters, yeah, for sure. That's a concept. And that brings people in. I mean, the TNA, that's why people go there, right? You know, I mean, let's see one of the things. What are some other concepts? Bone Daddies, you know, in that same.
I like Emerald Tavern. That's one of the things that's inspiring what I want to do. Because it's a game and a cafe.
For sure.
I actually went there a couple times, Autumn, on lunch. It's right by my work, and they've got some really good food and really good like craft beers. They got a good like white lager and stuff like that, and yeah, they got like. So you can basically just set up chess games. They've got a bunch of board games, Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's a cool spot. And they just took over Sherlock's. You remember where Sherlock's is?
Yeah.
On 183. They just took over all that and they renovated and all that good stuff. So, yeah, it's a cool concept.
Yeah, that's a very cool concept. Any other, like a couple of concepts that have died, you know, the supermodels, the top models, or whatever you call it, they had a kind of a concept of like a model restaurant, kind of almost kind of like a Hard Rock Cafe, but it was for supermodels. That died. You know, you have other concepts that, what are some restaurant concepts that you've seen that maybe didn't make it, that are kind of weird, too weird? Anybody has seen any kind of weird concepts before? No? You know, one might be, you know, I thought the whole supermodel one was kind of weird. You have, you know, another concept that's gone really well is, what's that the Blues Brother one? House of Blues. House of Blues. I mean, that is a huge concept that is has gotten rave reviews. So concepts can be something that brings people in, and think about what is it that you want your restaurant to bring in. If it's and you want your concept to flow.
That's what I mean. Like, if you try to open up an Irish pub in Boston, it's probably going to do well. If you open it up in certain other areas, it might not.
Very, very, very true. But
There's tons of Irish pubs in Boston. You'd have a lot of competition.
Yeah. You know, for me, it's creating, or the concept is kind of the whole package deal. So that's your branding. That is your actual facility. What do you have in there? Anything that brings people in is kind of your concept or your branding, your mantra, if you will, or something that brings people to your facility. And you want, you know, you want it to flow. If it's like called, I don't know, let's say the Bird's Nest, and we don't serve anything, you know, we don't serve any, I don't know, poultry whatsoever, then why the hell did we call it the Bird's Nest, right? You know, you need to kind of let it kind of flow a little bit, and in the names of your entrees maybe can go with the concept. You know, if it's, I don't know, a race car driving, or if it's a, you know, a racing style restaurant, you might want to name the food, you know, a name of a racer or whatever else, or you know, you want it to kind of flow all together. You don't want it to be very choppy. And I think trying to first figure out your logo and figure out who you are as a restaurant, and it is very important, because if you don't know who your restaurant is or what your restaurant is, that concept and everything is kind of lost, and it doesn't really work very well. So figuring out what you know.
You remember
What is
Pulp Fiction, Chef?
Yeah.
Jack Rabbit Slims
Yeah.
that they went to, and they had all like it had the Buddy Holly, the
Yep.
Madonna,
Yep.
everything was Cadillac cars and stuff.
Yep. That is a awesome concept, you know, and I think they have one something similar to that in, I think, California or maybe Florida. I can't remember. But it's a very cool concept. But even a trailer has concepts. I mean, look at you know, downtown Congress area. They have an ice cream trailer all made out of used liquid nitrogen for that. That's a concept. It brings people in, and it's unique. And I think you're trying to find something unique, something that stands out, something that people will remember when you create a concept, or a logo or anything else that you're wanting to. Now, another thing that we need to talk about, what else brings people into a restaurant is, for me, when I had young kids, it was a good kids meals, something that entertained my kids. You know, if it was coloring books or coloring pages, something that will allow me to eat without having to deal with my kids as much.
Yeah,
right?
Have you ever been to Maine or New England at all?
I did when I was real young, so I don't remember
They
it.
have this restaurant. It was like these trains called Buckaboos, and there was like this singing, talking moose. And I remember that was like the place to go for any kids and their birthdays and stuff like that. Some of them have closed down, but it's kind of sad because I remember going there so much when I was little.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you know, that's a great concept. I mean, that sounds like you had fun, you had great memories when you were younger, all of that. You know, anything that you can you know, bring your kids. I think having, you know, first of all, like having kids eat free on Monday or Tuesday or whatever else, that I would literally in the summer times, I would Google, you know, or, you know, look up what restaurants let kids eat free, with, you know, with the adult, you know, buying an adult meal. But, you know, that's a good concept or something that brought me into their door, because of the free food for my kids, or some sort of entertainment or something, so where I can just be able to sit and eat and not have to have, you know, and my kids are content, if you will. But I think that's always a good concept, having if you're a family style restaurant, just making sure that, you know, that you it is, I would say, cater to kids as well, because that's a big market that you could really get into. Let's see. Restaurants. Let's see. Let's see. Select a serving style for food concept. What type of restaurant do you see yourself owning? One of the first things you must decide is, what it is, what kind of style, what kind of restaurant, what kind of, what are you going to be doing? But let's just kind of, I'm going to throw that out to you of what type of restaurant do you see yourself owning? That's what I want you to start really thinking about and trying to figure out. And if you don't want to own it, that's fine. You don't need to, you don't have to own a restaurant, but what I'm more or less asking you is trying to get you to start thinking about your project and what you want to be doing with your project. If you're a morning person, let's see, dinner. Okay, well, that's all right. So, a good concept. What's the brunch or breakfast concept that's in Austin right now? Snooze is one of the, like a breakfast concept. Anybody else know another one?
The Omelet Tree.
Yep. Has anybody ever been to the Snooze or Omelet Tree?
I've been to Snooze a couple times.
Yeah, how's that?
They've got Eggs Benedict 4 ways. They got the Bella Benny and some other stuff. It's just another.
Have you heard of Austin Java?
Yes.
I love Austin Java.
Yeah, they've got great tacos. They've got a good concept. My sister-in-law was actually a manager there for years, and they're one of those companies that it's really good with their employees and Austin Original and stuff like that. So they're a good company.
Any interactions I've had with them have been by far better than any customer service.
Well, that's good. I always love Austin Java for sure. Let's see what else. Okay, so and then you've just got dinner concepts or late night bar kind of concepts. You also have upscale, the higher dining. You've got well, first of all, you got the typical fast food style, right? You got burgers, fries, hot dogs, and sandwiches, kind of a deal. Mid-scale is going to be, and then you that's kind of a middle range. What would you consider mid-scale food being in a restaurant? Which restaurant would be like middle, not exactly BJ's or even
fast
like a
sort of thing.
Do what?
Fast casual.
Yes, anything kind of fast casual. And then you've just got upscale type of restaurants, and that would be, any white tablecloth or, it doesn't have to be white tablecloth anymore, but just more upscale, obviously French Laundry is a upscale or whatnot.
Hey Chef, what are linen prices looking like? I guess you said you worked in a restaurant before.
Yeah,
I have too, so I know that we use
Admiral Linen. We use Admiral Linen.
Yeah, but what does that bill look like every month on average?
In a fine dining restaurant or at our.
I would say fine dining where you.
Fine dining.
I
would say wow. God, I can't even give you a figure right now. I can't even remember. I'm sorry. I really don't.
No worries. I
Um,
just thought you might know off the top of your head.
No,
I,
I really don't know
I worked for
right off.
Alsco,
Yeah.
and they had their pricing was pretty decent. They only charged you by the month. I think it's something like $60 a month. And
Who was it?
you had to purchase all the towels and tablecloths, so you paid for them up front, and then you just paid them $40 a month to do all the dry cleaning.
What was that company?
Alsco. They also do
Alsco?
they also do chemicals and cleaning supplies.
Nice, like a one-stop shop.
Yeah, they just moved into the chemicals and stuff, and they're really good. They have their own patented machine that does the measuring out of the sanitizer and all that stuff.
Nice.
And
That's
you
badass.
said it was called Alsco?
Yeah, Alsco. It's they're here locally. I've seen them here. They're all over the place. They're not as big as the other vendors,
Like Admiral.
but they're definitely they're competitive. They're good competitive prices.
Well, I can, if you would like, I can text Stan and actually find out the cost of our linens if you would like for me to do that as well. Let's see. How much do we pay for linens? There we go. There we go.
Where's that at, Chef?
Oh, I'm gonna send this. We get it from the school from Admiral Linens. So I'll see what Stan says how much we pay for our linens and like towels and all of that at the school.
Cool. Thank you. I didn't mean to get off topic. I just
No, you're fine.
came up.
No, totally fine. Let's see. All right. So here are some. Does the services style make sense in your concept? Does the service style, like, if it's, I don't know, let's say your concept has kind of a appearance of kind of or I don't know, because, well, let's see how to explain that. Does your like, for example, is it look like fast casual, but it's really fine dining or whatever else? Does it make sense? Does it, does your serving style, if it was fast casual, but you're, bringing food out to the customers, or, you're picking up at the bar and it's supposed to be kind of a fine dining, just kind of a weird concept or style, serving style, and you have different styles of service, like Russian style, and we'll get into that. I don't know why that's there, but you have traditional restaurants like brick and mortar. You got Brecken's style restaurant. You have a catering operation. You have bakeries. You have cake shops or / bakeries, specialty shops. I would call like I would consider like what she's doing more like a specialty shop instead of a cake shop or a bakery. I would consider what she's doing more of like a specialty thing, but these are all different types of, restaurants or ways of dealing with it. Catering, catering's a great way, and it's very versatile. You could, it's a great way to make money for sure. I think catering is a great way to make extra money. Let's see. All right, fast food. Let's talk fast food. What are some fast food restaurants that you like their concepts or their ways of doing things? What are some like fast food restaurants that have good concepts? Anybody?
Wahoo's.
What is that again?
Wahoo's fish tacos.
I don't know if I've ever been there.
There's one off of Barton Springs, right at Lamar, I believe. Or no, yeah, Lamar, Barton Springs, and it's the concept that I remember from California, like on the beach, there's Wahoo fish tacos. They're like they're the guys that they put the coleslaw with their fish tacos, and it's all
Okay.
with real acid centric,
Yeah.
white fish tacos, and then they
Uh-huh.
always like show skate videos and have a real, I guess, Pacific feel to them.
Really? I'm gonna have to. I love fish tacos. I would love to go check that out.
Yeah, it's that West Coast fish tacos, which I like the West Coast fish tacos. Not bad.
Have you ever been to Culver's? It's got frozen custard.
Yes, that's a great concept. And they cater to kids as well, and I think that's a great concept too. What are some other ones? Anybody else that any fast food style restaurants that you like their concept? Well, Wahoo for sure, and Culver's. I love their butter burger. It's delicious, and their fried cheese curds are really good too. Let's see, fast casual. Here's some fast casuals. And would you consider? What would you consider? Would you consider the Culver's fast casual or like fast food? What do y'all think?
I never been.
You said
there.
Culver, Chef?
Yeah. If you've never been, I would consider
No.
that.
That's fast food. No, I love
Yeah.
Culver's. That's like
I would say that would be fast food, but you have also Panera Bread, Boston Market, Noodles and Company. Those are styles of fast casual. That can be considered fast casual. And then you have, and this is concept. All of these are concept. Like fast food is kind of a style of concept. Fast casual. Also, here's some more. You got casual dining, Olive Garden, Red Lobster, Outback, TGI Fridays. Any of those. I want my baby back rib places. Those for sure will be like casual dining. And then, let's see. And, you don't have to dress any specific way or any of that sort of stuff. But then you've got fine dining. Fine dining is, obviously, this one they put French Laundry, but I would consider what else is fine dining? What steakhouses are downtown? Or in Austin, what's that? Steakhouse. Ruth Chris is fine dining, or
Would like Perry's be considered fine dining?
could you say it again? Which one?
Perry's Steakhouse.
Perry's, yes, I would consider Perry's to be fine dining. Roy's, any of the any of that, for sure, fine dining. If you have a waiter or waitress coming up to you, that's could be casual, fast casual, or fine dining. But fine dining for sure is what's the other steak? Vince Young Steakhouse. That's the one I was trying to think of. But all of those are all I would consider those fine dining establishments for sure. You need to develop a business plan and create to kind of get an idea of what you're going to be doing. And the first step to developing a business plan, I feel, is finding out what the consumers need in that area. For example, if you're going to go find the target market for whoever or you've got the target, you know exactly, because you know where you're going to go, all of that. You need to know what the people want in that area. I mean, that's plain and simple. It doesn't matter what you want. It doesn't matter what you want. It matters what the customers want. And if there's 50 barbecue restaurants in Southwest Austin, then I wouldn't create a barbecue place in that part of town. If there's already that many, or if there's 5 or 6, I understand maybe one is how, 1 or 2, it might be competition, but then you've saturated the market. So you want to make sure that your customer base, whoever your customer base is, wants that style of restaurant or that thing around that area. Because if not, people are not wanting to, or will not go to it, right? So you just got to make sure your target market likes it.
A question: are there any like fish and chips places down here?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Who said that?
There's Sherlock.
Oh,
There's, what's the other one? The Full English. Full English. Yeah, English fish and chips place is my business model. So it's like, I know.
What was the first one you said before
Nosh
Sherlock?
And Nosh and ampersand, whatever, Bevy, Bevy. Nosh and Bevy. Cheerio.
So,
Yo, Sean, have you ever been to the Firehouse?
The Firehouse?
Yeah, it's like a little, it's kind of like a speakeasy concept. It's on I want to say right over from Congress, maybe like Brazos or Trinity or something like that. But
I've heard of it.
it's kind of like it's a bar, and you kind of walk in, and it looks like you're walking into a library, and they pull it open, and you kind of got to walk back to the back, and it's English style,
Oh, yeah.
supposed to be, yeah, but it's a pretty cool spot.
No, I like
not a lot of people know about
it. Theme. That stuff's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool spot.
Check it out.
Chef, I have a question. In regards to concepts, I don't necessarily want a brick and mortar restaurant. I want my kitchen to be more of a learning kitchen. And I had the idea of doing like pop-up ghost bakeries, maybe around the country or something like that. Could you see something like that working? Where I don't have a location, like I'll be in Miami, like how artists go on tour,
the whole pop-up thing has gotten a lot bigger these days on just like restaurants or in just businesses just kind of popping up and just kind of doing it for a little bit and then leaving. The only thing I would say for that is you would just need maybe a little more fan base or a little more following so people will understand what it is.
I also
I don't know.
it's a lot harder for like you to do a pop-up bakery just because like you need different kinds of equipment that are kind of harder to move around than you would like a flat top grill and a food truck or something.
So my idea was I want to buy some ovens and I'll have some with me, but a lot of things you can rent, you can rent ovens and have them delivered on site and stuff like that. Come up with a consistent look, come up with a consistent setup, and go on tour promoting desserts and classes and stuff like that. Like I said, maybe.
I think that would honestly be really innovative, and I think you could create a really good following with that just because that's not something that people have ever seen before. You know,
Yeah,
you could.
I'm calling it a ghost bakery because,
I think that's fucking sick. Excuse my French, but
Yeah.
yeah, like not, because right now I'm finding that shipping is definitely a huge issue for me. Shipping consistently the things that I want to offer. And there's so many bakeries or whatever. I thought maybe, like Girl Scout cookies. You can only buy Girl Scout cookies from a certain time of year or whatever, making it more like you can only get this from me. Maybe not putting my treats in stores, maybe not putting them on Amazon or whatever, shifting that away, doing a food tour, kind of maybe marketing myself more as a food artist, chef instructor.
I think the other thing that could help you bring a good following is like people love when they get gifts that are like handmade versus going out and purchasing them. So having like families be able to come in and like not only legitimately learn something by taking a class from you, but now they get to bring this item home as a gift and say, I made this.
Yeah.
And that goes a lot further than just going out and purchasing something.
I totally see it, and that's kind of my train of thought with that, giving them more of an experience.
I think if you strategize it really well, it could be very successful for you.
Nice.
I agree. I think it would be great. I in the pop-up thing is a newer concept, or a concept that is maybe not a newer concept, but it's a concept that is starting to, you're seeing a lot more, and like little satellite pop-ups. And people get excited over that sort of stuff. And I think that is something, just anything that creates excitement or that creates a stir or that people get want to go or want to see. I think that's always, a good, that's a good way for people to, just build excitement of your restaurant in general or your concept. I think that's always a great thing. And I like that idea, Keith. So creating a menu, when you're creating a menu, you want to make it easy for, you want to make sure that you're not pricing out your customers. You need to know who your clientele is. You don't want to have a really expensive restaurant in an area where you don't have people that are making that kind of money as much. People will come to the restaurant, of course, but are in a part of town that maybe is not the best ideal part for that restaurant. For example, if I was making a pork restaurant, the swine restaurant, and I pick a location, in like New York, where all the Hasidic Jews are located. Well, that maybe not the best location for that restaurant. So trying to find.
So essentially, you want your target audience to match your target location.
Yes, exactly. So thank you for phrasing it in that way. But that is very important. If not, you're gonna not have customers. And if your target audience has a bunch of kids, by God, give them kids menu. By God, give them feed the kids earlier than the adults, or have coloring books. They have jungle gym, like at some Waterloo Ice House or something like that.
Have you been to Rainforest Cafe?
Yes.
So that used to be my favorite place to go when I was a kid.
My kids' favorite, and yeah, totally.
Something that, like, if that's what your audience is, design something that's interactive for that audience.
Yeah, no, and creating a menu and creating that concept, I think is very important when you're with your concept, because if your concept has like a rainforest cafe, well, and you don't have anything kid related or a kid menu for that, well, that's stupid. You know, you need some sort of kid menu for that. Let's see, for the when you are, so just making sure you build the restaurant or build your menu according to your restaurant and to your target market. Making sure it's, well, first of all, it's easy to read. The layout is clear and it doesn't jump from one side to the other. How do we usually read? From left to right, correct? So making sure that things kind of flow a little bit. You know, for example, here in this little picture, you know, it spotlights the appetizers. It's got a, you know, a little square around it. It's got a, you know, appetizers are in big bold letters. Making sure that, you know, it's easy for people to read. And you could also, what I don't like are actual physical pictures of food. And the only reason why I don't like physical pictures like something like this, where my little cursor is, the reason why is because if it doesn't look like that when it comes out, I'm disappointed. You know, think about the McDonald's Big Mac. If you've ever seen it on, you know, on a billboard or on a, you know, commercial or whatever else, it does not look the same, right? You know, the Big Mac that they show in the picture, it doesn't look the same. So I want to make sure that the food looks exactly the way it does in the picture if you use a picture. Is that understood? I mean, because people, I mean, because if you get that, if you're ordering, because most people, if there is a picture, they're ordering it mostly because of the site, looking at it, right? So when it comes out of the, you know, the kitchen and it doesn't look exactly the same, I'm kind of disappointed. So making sure that my employees have a picture of exactly what it should look like and make sure that it comes out exactly right. But I'm not a big advocate on having actual physical pictures of the food on the menu. Go ahead, Sean.
Nah. Yeah, well, it's like, you know, that's for places like Applebee's, or if you go to like someplace in Chinatown, you're like trying to read the name of something, but it's got a picture next to it. You're like, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, no, exactly. But
I've never gone into a steakhouse. Well, actually, I take that back. I guess Perry's has, like, their online presence is pretty hardcore. But I've never gone into a place and then hand me a menu and then there's like pictures of like,
yeah.
You know, or
I don't know, man. The best Asian places I've been to have like 1,000 things on the menu.
Well,
and like, you know, like a little picture of everything. Like, I don't know. I mean, that's just Asian food. But.
No. Let me say something. Like, I think Asian, like, if it is something that maybe you've never seen, or it's hard to pronounce, or it's, you know, people wouldn't know, or not hard to pronounce, but just if they've never seen it before or never heard of it, and if they've got like all the Asian, I would say, okay, for Asian food, yes, maybe, you know, but I just, for a steak or if you're gonna put pictures, make sure that they just look exactly the same, or don't put it on there. One of the two. I just don't like seeing.
Yeah, I don't have really any food allergies besides lactose. So when I see menus, I'm the kind of person that just likes, even if I can't understand anything, I'll just be like, you know what, let's just pick this, see what happens. Because I feel like too many of us pick what looks familiar to us.
That's right.
And we'd never really try anything out of our range of
that is right.
choice paralysis.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of it, in if you look at some of the pictures and all of that, because a lot of times the things that they put pictures on are the cheaper items that they make a lot more money on, because of seeing it makes people want it, and so you know that is just a way of, you know, getting you to order that item. Or like, for example, another thing is like putting it in bold letters, or putting it in special, or writing something on there, so where people, it kind of, for example, look this in this appetizer section right here, in just that, which one stands out the most? Just by looking at it, the shrimp cocktail.
Right.
Because that, to me, stands out the most because it's got a little box around that shrimp cocktail. See that little box? That little box right there, right? So that is something that people will see and go, oh, okay, shrimp cocktail. It makes people's eyes go straight to that, because it's all the same. And then I go, oh, shrimp cocktail. And that right there helps me, kind of helps the customer, and it kind of guides the customer to certain items on the menu that you want people to kind of help, or want people to order. So anyway, so that is the way, but making italicized. So types of menus, you've got basically a la carte. In a la carte, what does a la carte mean? Anybody? Say it again.
On its own, by itself?
Yeah, it's on its own. So if you want a steak, you get a steak. Oh, you want French fries? You're going to have to order French fries yourself, or it's all individual, right? So
basically it dates back to when they used to roll around with the sides on a little cart, and you go and you say, a la carte, meaning I'll to get it off of the cart that you're passing by.
Yep. Yeah, no, I exactly. And then you've got what's the table side, the banquet, buffet, cafe house, a cycle menu, that sort of stuff. And then you got breakfast, you got lunch, dinner menu, ethnic menus, California menu, you know. But I would say for those are styles of menus, but and then you've got other styles: static menu, dessert menu, wine menu, any of those kinds of menus. A la carte we talked about, but most common menu is this static menu, and we're going to talk about that. Does anybody know anything about a static menu?
It mostly doesn't change.
Exactly. It doesn't change. It doesn't really change very much. It's pretty, consistent. That's very, very the most common. Now, especially nowadays, I think, especially after COVID or during this time, I mean, just think about all the costs that are going to go up. I would say most restaurants probably are going to reprint a lot of menus because just think of how much beef is now, how much, some of these things are now getting more expensive. So you're going to have to raise the price for sure.
I get a brisket at the at HEB yesterday, $63.
Yeah. Wow, $63?
$63.
Wow.
I just-
How big was the brisket?
It was about, I think it's probably about maybe 10 pounds.
Wow.
But I mean, not $63 big.
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
That,
I just grabbed it without thinking. So usually I just go grab the brisket, whatever. You know?
yeah.
And then when I got it, I rolled down a couple aisles, and I'm looking. I'm like, $63. That can't be right. That cannot be. It was right.
Wow. That's expensive.
Yeah, but
I'm shocked.
I got a pork shoulder. I got a full shoulder picnic style for $15. So pork hasn't really come
Wow.
out, I guess.
Well, that's awesome.
Jeff, I have a question.
Yep.
I'm working on the costing sheet right now.
Yep.
How do I add more rows? Because when
Okay. I'll show you. I'll show everybody in a few minutes.
thank you.
Not a problem. Y'all want to take 15-minute break?
Yes.
All right, 15 minutes. Hey, and Key, can you remind me to show you that at the end of the day?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Is there any way you can show me real quick how to add some rows?
I think he wants to do it so everybody can see.
I get that part, but I'm like literally working on it right now.
Yeah, see, I would tell you how to do it, but I haven't done that one yet. I did a different one for operation or for restaurant entrepreneurship.
Did they
We have
give
to-
it?
Well, they give us one of those, but it has nine costing little blocks like that all in one sheet, and then it has something like 20 rows for ingredients you can put in there. So
Is that? Do you still have it? Is it something you can share with me?
I do have it. I have a copy that I haven't edited yet. I can send you a link. And
I'm
then
gonna shoot you I'm gonna chat you my email address.
okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because my recipes, I mean, this only gives me
Yeah,
like
I'll-
7 columns or something. It's not enough space.
yeah.
And when I just copy and paste the rows back in there, it's not copying the formula correctly or whatever.
Right. Yeah, you have to change the original formula to include the new line and all that
Gotcha.
stuff. So I don't know, but I can send you that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chef Cliff?
Yeah.
I have the business plan from the restaurant entrepreneurship class.
Yes.
Like multiple different calculators for doing a lot of this stuff here anyway. Do you mind if I share that with this class so that they can
Do it. Yeah, go ahead. Do it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Did you? And
Hey, and I just got a text message from Stan. He's going to look and see how much we pay for linens right now. And
Cool,
he'll get
Chef.
us.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
So, chef, for my costing spreadsheet and menu, is it okay if I put like 2 of my classes or workshops on my thing too and work that in?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Sean,
Yes,
if
sir.
you want to send that to me, I can try to post that onto the portal for people to use.
Sweet. Yeah. I just got to find it. As soon as I find it.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. I just thought about it. I could post it on the portal for everybody to be able to utilize if they want to use that.
Yeah. It's a really good metric tool, and it's weird. I'm surprised that I hadn't, like, there are people coming from restaurant operations that in my my entrepreneurship class, they had to do all the stuff that they had to compile the entire business plan with stuff that they had already done in like the what is it, schedule, and then stuff they had already done. And the business plan is set up, and it helps you just kind of walk your way, just go through the entire business plan. You basically,
that's awesome.
Your presentation.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. I have never seen that.
What are you getting us on? A price sheet?
It's the excuse me, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Entrepreneurship. There's a work it's a workbook in Excel, or that's your business plan, and basically it has multiple tabs, and each tab you can put information in about your business, and it
Nice.
all into P&Ls and does all the metrics for you.
Cool. All right, so that's gonna be up on the website, maybe.
What's that?
Yeah, I'll post it in a little while once he gets it to me.
Heard, Chef.
And Key, I will show you just and so everybody can see how to extend those formulas on the portal as well if you're using this call sheet. I'll do that. And what time did I say? 20 minutes?
I didn't hear any of that.
Or maybe 5 minutes.
Hey, Sean, off the top of your head, bro, do you know if you can sell alcohol out of a trailer in Austin?
I don't think so. Your permits will allow you now. If you have your own seating that's blocked off, then you sell alcohol. Just can't allow the alcohol to go outside of a certain area. Just so like
Cool.
you can't hand it off to some kids or something.
Right. Okay, that's
Before the pandemic. They might change that now that they're doing delivery.
yeah. Right on. Thanks, man.
Good gas.
All right, we can get back to it. Okay, so I'm going to show how to extend these. Key, are you on? I'll wait a couple more minutes, I guess. All right, so here's how you do it. What you need to do is you need to click on one of them, and you're going to move your cursor until it looks like it's like a little plus sign, and then you're going to just drag down just like that, and that will bring these down. Now I've got to go ahead and then right at this little box right here, take this, drag down. And the formula is over here, and it's gotten larger. Everybody see that? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's basically, but now you're going to have to probably, because this is a G. Is it J3 and G4? Where's G4? G. And if the formulas, if it doesn't work, I can always go in. If you share it with me, if you just share this this spreadsheet with me, I can fix the formula if it's not working for you. But it should. But hopefully the one that Sean is going to give us might be a little bit easier for y'all.
Yeah, I'm just clearing out. I'm going to use the one that I used.
You're just deleting everything?
Yeah, I'm just going to delete everything.
Yeah, it's all good. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I think it'll help out the whole class. Okay, now a prefix menu. A prefix. When are some times that you see a prefix menu? Did anybody? Like Mother's Day, Easter, Valentine's, any of those? That would, well, first of all, what is a prefix menu? Anybody know what a prefix, or can tell me what a prefix menu is?
It's that menu where your all of your all the entire menu's already pre-made. How many?
Yeah.
All the coursing.
Yeah, you have a choice of, for example, you know, here's a soup, salad, entree, dessert, right? A prefix is like it's kind of already set, and you would have like a choice of 3 different entrees or 3 different desserts, or this is kind of what you have. Or also a prefix can be, this is it, this is what you're gonna have, a soup, salad, entree. And they usually sell it for a set price, one price, and those are prefix menus are really easy because of, you know, you use that's for a lot of turnover, a high turnover rate. Like for example, like, you know, Easter, Mother's Day, or Father's Day, anything that you know, you're going to have an influx of people. In Valentine's Day, for sure, you get like, you know, a dinner for 2 or type of deal, and they would have a like a surf and turf, or you know, choices. You get 1 or 2 choices, but a prefix menu is a good way of for busy times, because you kind of have an idea and you've already kind of bulked up for that prefix menu. But that, I think prefix menus are great for like holiday times and all of that. Like sometimes at fine dining restaurants, they have what you call a chef's tasting. Would you consider that? I would consider that more of a prefix menu, because they have a chef's tasting menu or whatever else, and you have a certain items that are on that, and that's would be considered a prefix menu, or a prefix, as some people call it as well. A cycle menu. A cycle menu is a menu that, you know, obviously goes in a cycle. Like schools, public schools use this a lot, where, you know, you'll see, you know, it's kind of like, almost kind of like a seasonal menu, but a cycle menu, they'll go through the cycle and it'll restart over again. Public schools, a lot of times you have a cycle menu. It's just goes through the cycle and then it'll restart over again. So cycle menus are, mostly I see that in school districts or
Do you use
schools.
that kind of style for, people who use kind of fresh, like organic produce to eat with the seasons?
Yeah, that would be more of I would call that a seasonal menu in a cycle menu. You could probably put it in, lump it around the same, but seasonal menu or cycle menu. Good call on that. Thank you for bringing that up. Here you go for a cycle menu. You need to make sure for a seasonal menu, you just need to make sure that everything is in season, and you just and it just kind of goes through all the seasons, and that is nice. Anybody have a good restaurant that does a good seasonal menu? I don't know of many in Austin, but there probably are. Do what?
Emmer and Rye.
Emmer, yeah, exactly. That's one.
I know for seafood, at least where I'm from, there's like when they become cheaper, it's because they're in season and there's a lot more of them, like clams and lobsters, crabs and whatnot.
Yep, you're right. So let's see. When you're kind of describing your product on the menu, you want it to sound good, right? You want it to sound good, and using some descriptive words. Be very descriptive. The one thing I do not like on menus where it's just not very descriptive. It doesn't exactly tell you what it is. If you're going to say golden brown, or if it should, let's say cooked to perfection, or cook very creamy, or be very specific and very, make people want that food, right? Make them, and if it's, instead of saying chicken, if it's free range chicken, right? Free range chicken. People want to actually know what it is. And, instead of saying strawberries, let's say fresh strawberries, or just freshly picked, or something, vine ripened tomatoes, or fresh and juicy tomato, something that, that will excite people, that will make people want to eat it, that'll make people want to think, oh yeah, I want to buy that, or whatever else. So just being very descriptive on it, on any of the verbiage. But you do not want something really long. Your description should be to the point, direct and to the point. But instead of butter, you can say creamy butter, like it says on the PowerPoint, or any of that sort of stuff. I think it's important to be very descriptive, because that's the only thing, that's the only thing that makes people want to buy it, right? Your description, because it just says grilled chicken, or grilled chicken sandwich. Well, make me want to have that grilled chicken sandwich, or whatever else. So, if it's free range chicken, type in, say it's free range or whatever, but be very, very descriptive.
Hey, Chef,
yeah, go for it.
Sorry to interrupt.
You're fine.
Is your email Chef Clifton Dickerson at
actually, hold on.
at staff.escoffier?
It can be Chef Dickerson at escoffier.edu.
Okay,
that's
cool.
The easiest one.
You got like 4 of them on here.
Yeah, I don't know why. But
Steve Dickerson, you got Chef Dickerson at CPA.
yeah, I think any of those open right now, just to make sure that.
That's coming your way.
Can you hear it?
No, and you're cutting it out.
Okay. Hold on. Are y'all there? Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got it. And I'll post it on the portal later on today. Thank you. So I'm gonna try to play this video, and let me know if you can hear the sound. Hold on. Can y'all hear? No.
Covers a variety of issues.
Can y'all hear that?
It's choppy. I can't really hear it.
Okay. All right. And hold on a second. Let me.
You can just send the link and we can go watch it.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah. Can hear you.
Sorry. All right. Well, I'm going to send this link. This, I would say, is a good video to watch. But let me get back to. All right, so let's talk about price point. When you're dealing with that, dealing with creating a menu, making sure your price point is about a good average, a good range. Let's talk like wine, for example. You know, a lot of times, you know, on wine menus or wine menus, you have, you know, starting at, let's say, $8 and then going, you know, to, let's say, $100 or so dollars, but just a good range of prices, I think is very important for to give your customers, is to make sure that they have a good range for buying the product, or it's not too expensive, it's not too cheap either. So a good kind of a range for them when you are like doing wine or whatnot. But you want a good kind of a cheap, medium, and expensive kind of a deal in that kind of a range. So just making sure your price points fit your clientele like we already discussed earlier today, just making sure that it really fits your clientele. Because if not, you're gonna cost out your clientele, or it's gonna be too expensive, or whatnot. So just make sure you watch the price points. And atmosphere, guys. Atmosphere is people go for just atmosphere. I mean, a good example of that is the Oasis. You know, I've never been to the Oasis, but I've always heard that the atmosphere is beautiful, but the food sucks. The food sucks, and the atmosphere is great, but the food sucks. But people still go there all the time and fill that place up. Why? Because the atmosphere. Because it's beautiful, the sunsets are nice, all of that. But the food is not so nice. So just make sure the atmosphere looks nice. You know, or it's got good atmosphere. Or if it's kind of in the middle of the city, maybe just try to make your restaurant, you know, calming, or what, you know, something that has just good atmosphere, that people are not going, ugh, this is a horrible place. You know, I mean, just think about the Oasis. Has anybody ever been to the Oasis here in the class?
Yeah, I have. It's pretty bad food.
Yeah, okay. You know, and I've never been, but I've always heard, and that's kind of why I never want to go, because I want to go for the food, not the atmosphere. But I feel like that people come, you know, go there all the time, but just because the atmosphere. So, you know, making sure that your food truck has a good atmosphere. It's not dirty. It's not, you know, something that people are in, you know, want to come to your facility. So making sure atmosphere is good. Let's see.
You know, I think there's opposite too, you know, where the atmosphere might not be perfect, but there's really good food. You know, I kind of seek out some of these little places in
hole in the wall.
Little Pakistan, little markets, Indian markets. There's like a Eastern European market up north in North Austin. And if you try any of the food that's just made there, that's just, you know, kind of behind them, it's on a little tray, it's so good. You know, and it's just this little tiny market. Not many people speak very much English, but, you know, I kind of seek out those places because the food is good.
Where was that at?
North Austin, there's a lot of kind of smaller, like Pakistani and Indian markets.
Do you have a favorite?
I'd say the Indian markets, because I get hair stuff from there. They have like everything there. Okay. Hair stuff. They have big, huge bags of rice, tons of different spices, you know, whole spices, not ground.
Nice. All right, cool. Yeah, no, for sure. And when I'm talking like atmosphere, I mean, yeah, but the atmosphere is unique at that place, right? You know, it's a kind of a unique atmosphere, but you want to just make it something that people want to come and try. And if the food is not, or if the atmosphere does suck, but the food's good, it's going to bring people to there anyway. But it's just one of those things where an atmosphere, a good atmosphere, brings more people to your facility for sure, and more willing to spend more money. Location. Hands down, I think you can have the most badass restaurant you could ever possibly make. And I think a location, if it's in a bad location, honestly, I think it's going to fail. And a lot of restaurants fail because of bad location, not enough visibility, not enough, you know, not, you know, like where I'm at, you know, in Southwest Austin area, you know, there's a thundercloud that's kind of stuck behind all of these, you know, buildings, and it's hard to see, and it's just a bad location. And when in those areas where it's not visible to the naked eye, and you've just got to know that it's there, it is very difficult to have a lot more customers coming in. You're going to have to, have more word of mouth, unfortunately. But location is very important. Who's been at a restaurant or who thought a restaurant would work really well, but it was just the location? Anybody ever been to a restaurant that had a really bad location, that it failed?
Like some of the nicer restaurants, I mean, at least back home, they're always in like the forest somewhere. And so unless you know someone that's been there, you'll never find it. You just
Yeah.
won't see it. It's really just word of mouth because there's no signs. It's a really gorgeous place, but it's just out of nowhere and it's hard to find.
No, I agree. I agree. And I think just making sure, if it is, your niche is to be in the woods or whatever else, or to be kind of out in the sticks or wherever else, you just need to make sure that people understand where it's at. But location, sometimes if you build it, they will not come. Just like in that movie, you just got to make sure that the location is good for your clientele as well. Knowing your target market is the most important, and where you want to locate your restaurant, for sure.
Another place that I think that I would love to see a restaurant is, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Pilgrim Farms. They tend to have tours, and they have chickens on the property. They have farm fresh, and it's a tiny little market, but I think that they could do way more with it. And
Where's that at?
Pilgrim Farms. I'd have to look it up.
All right, I'll look it up.
I've been there a couple times.
Is it in Austin area?
Yeah, they do these
Okay.
tours, and they have like these old houses and stuff, and
I will look
I
that
think
up.
that they could really benefit from opening up a kind of restaurant over there.
That's awesome. I will look that up. Pilgrim Farms. Let's see. Quality. Making sure your food is quality. And if it is like a quality or organic or any specialty style food, if it's like organic, make sure you write organic on the menu. Make sure you are locally sourced. If it's local produce, make sure you write on the menu locally sourced, or local pecans, or local honey, or whatever else, because people really like to eat local or have locally grown food, or local produce or meat.
Sorry to
or
interrupt.
whatever else.
It's,
Yeah, of course.
Pioneer Farms, not Pilgrim Farms.
Pioneer Farms. Thank you.
It's a historic park and museum, and I've been to several museums, like art museums, and they almost always have at least some kind of food court. I think that they could get more out of there, since they have a lot of land, and they have chickens, and they work with a lot of local businesses.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Let's see, just quality food in general. When you just want to make sure that you're, delivering quality service with quality food, and just make sure you specify when it is good food, or if it's prime or choice or organic or whatnot. Make sure you label that on your menu for sure.
Chef, I have a question.
Yep, of course.
Kind of, instead of focusing on the ingredients, I want to highlight the type of people that I employ and the way to prepare the things. Like, hey, I have this, we work in a learning kitchen, and this is my staff. This person was a Escoffier graduate. This person was a veteran. Is that exploiting, or do you think that's something that the people will want to know?
I think like you're talking for your employees, a veteran, or what do you?
You know, to say that, you know, I'm providing jobs to teenagers, to veterans, to people
No,
with.
I think that would be for me. I think it's a good marketing. You know, that you hire veterans. You know, I think it's a good marketing, and people might go and oh, that's awesome, and want to support you in that way, just because of you're supporting veterans, or you're supporting some sort of group like that.
Catering companies do that. They'll have all their caterers like online. You can go to a page and see all the chefs and what they've done and accomplished, for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something really good. And guys, I just got an email from Chef Robin, just making sure y'all, if you would like, there is I think they sent a email to y'all's, or an email talking about chef demo today. That's going to be on Chef Justin's going to be doing a demo, and I will send that link to y'all on this page in a little bit, or through an email. But just kind of watch out there. There's a lot of chef demos that are people doing, and just with the school. So just make sure you check your email. All right. Because there's going to be some chef demos cooking. Let's see. But yes, I think for sure spotlighting. I think anything that will make your restaurant or your employees or you stand out more, I think is ideal to get customers for sure. Let's see, planning a restaurant design.
For future employees as well. If I go onto a website and see that you're very inclusive, I'm going to want to work for you.
I agree. I completely agree with you on that.
I just worried that, I didn't want it to come off like I'm exploiting anyone, That was my only concern.
No, and I would
just
not.
get their permission first, if they're fine with it, then I don't.
Food industry, exploit away.
Yeah, no, I think, again, anything that will make you stand out and make your employees stand out. And like someone was saying, again, I might want to work with somebody that actually, spotlights your employees out on, on the web or on whatever else. So I think that would be great for sure. Let's see, plan your restaurant design and layout. Basically, you need to know, the kitchen, how you want the kitchen to be set up, your staff, how much staff you need. If you were going to hire, who you're going to hire. I mean, your staff, you need to make sure, front of the house, back of the house, you name it. You need to think about your restrooms, how the layout of the restrooms are going to be, how they're going to be designed. I sure as hell don't want to ever have a bathroom with a door handle. I hate door handles on bathrooms. It should be a push, so where I can use my elbow to push the door open, or use my foot or something. But you don't want door handles on restrooms a lot of times. I think having hand sinks outside of the bathroom, like just kind of right outside of the bathroom, so where you can wash your hands after you get out of the actual restroom. I think that's a really good concept to have. Let's see, making sure a waiting room for the customers is really nice. Making sure that it's not ugly and dank and dirty and old furniture or furniture that's ripped up. You want to make sure you have nice furniture. Any of the dishes, this silver or utensils, making sure that they all match, they all look good, they look the part of your restaurant as well. Let's see, patio layout, design, you name it.
Patios
Planning-
are like another big money maker, you know.
Oh yeah.
We owned a little hamburger shop off the airport, kind of by where I Love Video used to be, and it's kind of the place is called Tyson Tacos now.
Oh, I
But,
love Tyson tacos.
Yeah, so we built that deck out there. That deck that they have right by Miss, we built that deck, and man, as soon as we did, you know, it gave people a spot to drink. You know, that patio, I guess, gave them a spot to drink and hang out. So did you say that was a family? It was a family hamburger / taco joint that like started on
No
the east side.
way.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah, I went there. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, they used to have a pretty good like hamburger special. It was pretty
Yeah,
cheap.
totally.
We got all the kids from McCallum and stuff like that. And,
That's crazy. I didn't know that was your family's restaurant. That's awesome.
we took that one over and had another location a long time ago. And we eventually sold it. But yeah. So
that's awesome. Yeah, totally. That little area outside, it totally it was great. You could sit out and have a beer and a burger. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Cool spot. I like that place.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, and especially nowadays, with people not wanting to be in a dining room as much.
Right.
So I think having any sort of outside patio seating, I think is now kind of is going to be a big thing now.
And now
sure.
I find that like any restaurant also has to have you got to have something that you can take a picture in front of, whether it's a trailer or like, you know, a lot of these restaurants have just like a wall that has some interesting art or whatever, or, you know, even a chair. Like
Hell yeah.
Chair. And,
Hell yeah, for sure.
So patios and stuff like that are definitely like attractions. For sure.
No, I completely agree with you, and making sure that you have something like you said, something to take a picture in front of. Social media is big, right? And everybody's doing selfies or all of that. And if I can get them to, you know, take a picture in front of my wall that might have my name on it, and it goes out to their thousands of friends that they have, you know, that's total free advertising for you, right? So anything, having like the Game of Thrones chair, or having anything that you can get people to take photos in front of, I think is very important. And it's great money maker. And people come back for more. But
also like knickknacks or mugs for tourists. I mean, when they come here, they want to buy all of that. I know when I first came to Austin, that's what I was looking for too.
Oh, hell yeah, for sure. You know, I mean, T-shirts or a hat or a koozie or any of that sort of stuff. Totally. So why don't we call it a day today? We haven't finished going through some of this stuff, but I'm probably going to tomorrow kind of start on this PowerPoint, and then we'll kind of finish up this PowerPoint tomorrow. I mean, there was a lot of information on here that I want to talk about, but unfortunately, I have to meet my electrician and all of that in Austin today, so I'm going to let y'all out a little early so I can get that done. But we'll knock out the rest of it of this one tomorrow, and we'll be fine. I will post on the portal before I leave New Braunfels today to go to Austin. I will post that thing that Sean posted or gave me for the costing out and all of that. I will post it on today's production. So I will, today's day, what is it, day 12? So I will post it right, it'll be probably somewhere in this area right over here. Okay. So if you see that. Anyway, are y'all good? We good? Everybody good? All right. Y'all have a great day. See y'all tomorrow.
Take care.
See y'all.